Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first review on the Geek channel. I'm Geek, and today we will be reviewing the forever dreaded Star Wars Holiday Special. Released in 1978 and starring pretty much the whole main cast, the Star Wars Holiday Special was highly anticipated by kids everywhere after the success of Star Wars Episode 4 the year prior. Unfortunately, the special was really quite a disappointment and was never aired again. Now, I knew this movie wasn't the most beloved cinematic piece in history, but I did not know it was this bad. I'm speechless over the... God, you just really have to watch the movie to understand. I think we all want to blame George Lucas for this, but among five writers for the Star Wars Holiday Special, George Lucas was not one of them. After watching this, you'd think that at least one of them would have realized that they were writing one of the worst creations humanity has ever given us. And if not one of them, then the director. In fact, George Lucas has gone out of his way to try to destroy as much proof as possible of the terrible special. Trust me, you will all understand once you've seen the review. Speaking of that, let's just get over this so I don't have to watch this ever again. We start off with Han Solo and Chewbacca, yes, Harrison Ford and Peter Mayhew, running from some recycled movie footage from Episode 4. This is where we learn that Chewbacca is running late to get home to celebrate the holidays. What holiday, might you ask? Well, most likely Christmas, possibly Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. But no, we get...
You'll be celebrating Life Day before you know it.
Life Day? Okay, but what is it? A day you celebrate life? A day a new life is born? A day Wookiees dress up in red robes and listen to a drugged Carrie Fisher sing a song? Nah, that's definitely not it. Anyways, that's all we get on the mysterious Life Day, so let's move on to the main story. After the credits, we get to gaze upon a very nice matte painting of a Wookiee home on Kashyyyk, Chewbacca's home planet. We enter our favorite Wookiee's household to find... not Chewbacca. In fact, Chewbacca isn't even the main character, it's his family that they focus on the most. You have no idea how annoying this is. Throughout the whole special, all you hear is a bunch of Wookiees screaming. You can't understand it. There are no subtitles. Nothing. I mean, it's just, this is basically the whole special. Do you see how this gets a little annoying? 2 hours, people. 2 hours of this crap. Anyways, Chewbacca's family consists of Itchy, Chewbacca's father, Mala, Chewbacca's wife, even though you have no way of telling that that's a woman, I mean, look at it, and his son, Lumpy. So, you go from a name like Chewbacca to a name like Lumpy. Very creative, guys. Keep up the good work. So we see Lumpy running down the stairs playing with his toy X-Wing when his mother yells at him to do chores. After some reluctance, he brings the laundry outside and dumps it off the edge or something. Okay, that's one way to deal with your chores. Soon after, he starts walking along a railing where everyone in the audience is just praying he will fall. Well, we get disappointed, but not for long, as we are brought back to Mala and Itchy to grieve about Chewbacca not having arrived home yet to celebrate the holidays. Oh, goody. But fear not, because this brings us into our very first subplot. And trust me when I say this special has plenty of subplots. Although they aren't really subplots as much as they are distractions. They just had to drag the special out to fit 2 hours, didn't they? Had to do it. I'm doing you a favor summing this all up for you. Basically, a bunch of circus dancers dance around for 2.5 minutes, but the main feature is really the creepy psychotic baby Wookiee. I mean, look at that thing! Ugh. He looks like a mix between Boo Boo Bear and Gary Busey. So now that that's done, Mala goes to check if any starships are in the area, and when all else fails, calls an extremely made-up Mark Hamill. Ah! Jeez, that's like 8 times as much that news anchors put on. So they ask Luke if they know where Chewbacca is, and when he doesn't know, we get this scene where they probably tempted Mark Hamill with a candy bar off screen to make him look over that way.
He and Han left here on schedule. If he's not there now, they're way overdue.
Ooh, I want that. I'm just not me when I'm hungry.
That would explain the makeup. And is it just me, or does it sound like he's an evil mastermind who is just pretending to be Luke? Because that would also explain all the makeup.
Well, all I can tell you is that he and Han left here on schedule. If he's not there now, they're way overdue.
Then Luke attempts to cheer up Mala by making her smile the creepiest smile in the galaxy, apart from Lumpy's, of course. This is when we see them making a call to Wookiee planet Trading Post C, which takes way too long. Come on. Come on. Oh, connect already! After 20 seconds of waiting for this call to connect, we see a lab area or something with what looks to be a Death Star trooper looking around for who knows what, when Art Carney walks in. Oh, by the way, Art Carney's character is obsessed with Wookiees. It seems like everything this guy talks about is related to a Wookiee in some way. Soon we see Mala call him, where he talks in code about Chewbacca and Han Solo. Then he gives the Imperial trooper a screwdriver or something that can open codes from the Empire, so the trooper takes it and leaves. Wait. So you're telling me that Art Carney, a guy who claims later that he is part of the rebellion, has one little groomer that can unlock and translate Imperial codes? Why doesn't the rebellion have at least one of these? I mean, geez, you'd think that they would be capable of getting a groomer from a traitor working for you. But no, they just send the princess on a mission to bring them codes from the other side of the galaxy. Anyways, we waste another 3 minutes on that segment, when we see some more stock footage, this time with Darth Vader. He tells a general he wants them to search every home on Kashyyyk for rebels, because of course the planet of furry apes who live in trees are gonna have rebels scattered around everywhere. In the next scene we see Mala watching a cooking show featuring the host, Harvie Korman. Oh dear God, this scene is annoying. From Mala responding to Korman saying hello, to the host singing,
Stir, whip, 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 stir. Stir, whip, 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 stir. Come on, faster all together now, cooking can be fun. Stir, whip, whip, stir. Stir, whip, stir. Wow!
Try getting the Stir Whip song out of your head for the next week. Finally, we get back to Han Solo and Chewbacca. You know, the 2 famous actors from the actual film. I mean, geez, if you get the full cast of Star Wars, you'd think you'd actually see more of the full cast from Star Wars. Instead, you feature this 120-minute long piece of bantha crap around a bunch of grunting Wookiees you can't even understand. I honestly think the only reason for this clip was to remind you that, yeah, Han Solo and Chewbacca are in this thing too. Because they don't actually do anything different from what they were doing before, and after about 20 seconds, we're back to the family of walking furballs. This is where the Empire alerts the citizens of the Kashyyyk planet, I guess the name of Kashyyyk was still being thought up, that a blockade has been set up around their planet because they suspect rebel spies to be lurking around in the trees. So out of nowhere, Art Carney arrives with gifts for Life Day. Mala gets a boombox, Lumpy gets a typewriter or something, and Itchy gets, well, one of those, well, it's a real, it's kind of hard to explain, it's, wow. This is the creepiest scene in the whole special, so I'm not gonna show it, as I am trying to keep this a PG-rated channel. But for a G-rated TV special, this scene is highly questionable. I mean, would you honestly let your kids watch this?
Oh, yes. Oh, we are excited, aren't we? Now, we can have a good time.
After this alarming little sequence, we jump to C-3PO and Princess Leia calling the Wookiees to talk to Han. But when they learn that Han and Chewie are missing, they do nothing. So now that that pointless scene is done, we cut to Han and Chewbacca speeding towards Kashyyyk. The amount of stock footage in this special is astounding. Every scene outside of the cockpit is stock. They literally just colored this planet green. Here is the original footage compared to the specials footage. So in a very misleading jump cut, the Wookiees open the door excited to see Chewbacca, but what they find is the Empire. They have arrived to search the Wookiees' house for rebel scum. So Carney tries to distract the troops with creepy laughs.
The picture you're looking at right now was taken quite a few years ago. That's one of me. I've gained quite a bit of weight since then.
Marketing his products.
Well, some people like to keep things neat and clean, and that's why I have the little leather case for the identification card. As a matter of fact, if any of you guys want a couple of those leather cases, I've got a couple of extra ones there.
And music videos. The music video by Jefferson Starship is utterly boring, so instead let's talk about this clip.
Wookiee food isn't the greatest, but I'm sure that I can whip something up in the kitchen there that we can all eat. You don't mind, do you, Mala? Mala, will you come in the kitchen to help me?
Whoa, what's up with Carney? It's like he's constipated, angry, and really bad at being inconspicuous all at the same time.
Mala, will you come in the kitchen to help me?
So Mala does what he orders. I can't just avoid 7 whole minutes of this special, so it's back to the music video, unfortunately. Mala's boombox ends up being a monitor that plays Jefferson's Starship music, and Carney uses it to distract a trooper. But after taking too long to get it started, the trooper snaps at him.
Will you get on with it?
Get on with it.
Yes, get on with it! Get on with it!
Okay. After the music video finishes, they force Carney to leave the house. Probably because he had had enough of this special and couldn't take it anymore. So they just incorporated it into the story. This next scene is reportedly the best thing to happen to the Star Wars Holiday Special. And although it may sound sad, it's a cartoon. Even though the text at the beginning isn't written in Arabic, and the drawing's bad, and C-3PO blinks, and it has the creepiest caricature of Han Solo ever, and the jokes are terrible, and the story generally makes no sense, this is the most interesting part of the whole special. You've got to think about how an 8-minute-long cartoon short is more riveting than the other 2 hours of the whole program. The main reason everyone loves this short is because this is where Boba Fett makes his first appearance. The basic story is that Chewbacca and Han are not home yet. That doesn't remind me of anything that has happened in the past 56 minutes of agony and pain. When suddenly Luke and Leia receive a message from the Falcon, where it looks like Chewie has gone crazy, hanging Han from his feet. So Luke brings 3PO and R2 to investigate when they crash into a planet to encounter Boba Fett. They all go to search for the Falcon, where they find Chewbacca destroying some mystical metal medallion thingy, which produces a magic gas that nearly kills humans. The only way to keep them alive is to hang them upside down to keep the blood rushing to their heads. So Boba and Chewie go to get the cure for the gas. When Boba does find it... By the way, what the heck is up with the upside down naked lady? And also the cure looks like what Carrie Fisher was using while filming this show. He avoids it and goes to phone Vader. This is when the droids intercept the call and realize the truth about Boba Fett. This is where we get the only lines from James Earl Jones, other than the ones we saw earlier with the Kashyyyk house situation.
I want them alive. Now that you've gotten their trust, they may take you to their new base.
This time we'll get them all.
I see why they call you the best bounty hunter in the galaxy.
So when Luke and Han are cured, the droids tell them what they know about the bounty hunter. Then Boba leaves. Yeah, that's the ending. He just leaves. So that's all for the best part of the whole special. And now back to our favorite little dog monkeys. This is where the Imperial troops are wrecking the little Wokies Room for no good reasons at all. And then just to rub it in, he rips the head off of the kid's toy. Jeez, dude, the Empire really was based off of Nazis, and this guy must be Hitler. Then they force the kid to go clean his room, where when he sees the mess, acts like someone was just killed. Well, okay, maybe the Bantha, but that doesn't count. So we have a little funeral ceremony for the Bantha until Lumpy finally decides to put together his Life Day present from Carney. Pop quiz, everyone! Based on what we know so far about the special, what do you think they will be wasting our time on now? That's right, a flippin' instruction video. And who is the robot showing you how to build this ugly white box? Harvie Korman! And of course we have to hear every single step of how to build an imaginary object.
Try not to rip it open, because it makes a very handy storage case for your tools until you need them again. Please be careful not to hurt yourself on the sharp edges. Ow. Remember, every one of the 10,000 terminals on your circuit breaker module is marked in a particular color.
Finally, at the end of the instruction video, the robot breaks down. So now that we have gotten our frequent dose of random filler crap, we better get on with the main plot.
Time now for life on Tatooine.
Oh dear God! How many subplots do you have to throw at us? Actually, to my surprise, this is the best one yet. You get the story of Bea Arthur playing as a cantina bartender on Tatooine when her bar is shut down by the Empire. Because for whatever reason, shutting down small businesses is more important than catching rebel spies. We get to hear her sing, which is interesting at the very least, and I almost wish the story focused more around her. She is actually more interesting than the main plot. Built into her mini-story is, big surprise, Harvie Korman! He plays an alien who drinks through his hair and has fallen in love with Bea Arthur. She doesn't accept him at first, but at the end, well, we never actually see what happens to them, because we finally get back to the main plot. So anyways, the Imperial Search Squad gets called back to their base, but they leave one stormtrooper to wait for Chewbacca to get home. So when the stormtrooper hears a message coming from upstairs, he goes and smashes Lumpy's Life Day present. I really don't care at this point. I just want the special to be over. But this leads us outside on the balcony where finally Chewbacca and Han Solo show up. Alright, this is it. This has to be it. The battle scene that will be the highlight of the whole film. He trips on his own gun and falls off the edge. I knew stormtroopers were bad shots, but if they can't even manage not to trip over their own guns, why doesn't the Empire replace them, or at least train them? In episodes 1 through 3, we get battle droids that Jedi slice through like butter. In episode 4 through 6, we get stormtroopers missing every shot they take. In the Star Wars Holiday Special, we get stormtroopers who trip over their own guns. Anyways, they all meet up at last to say, Happy Life Day, and then Han has to leave to get the Falcon. We waited the whole 1 hour and 39 minutes for this, and you just have to leave? Is your parking going to expire? So that's all we see of Harrison Ford before Han has to leave. But we do get a creepy hug between Han and Chewie. So at long last, Chewbacca is home and awkwardly tries to give Malla a kiss, but gets friend-zoned into a hug. Suddenly, Carney walks in to greet Chewbacca and lie to the Empire about the dead stormtrooper. So he tells a lie about how 3 left but 1 remained, and then robbed him and ran off. But how does Carney even know that they left 1 behind? He wasn't there when they made 1 stormtrooper stay, so is he like a Jedi who can just sense what happened? I really don't care at this point, because this must be the end, right? So close! The Wookiees hold up these glowing yellow orbs, which teleport them into Wookiee Dreamland, or whatever, where they are suddenly wearing ugly red robes. They walk into this light source along with 20 other Wookiees, which brings them to a poorly fogged up stage. And for some reason the droids are there to say Happy Life Day and express how depressed they are that they are not alive and have no emotions. Wait, they're expressing the emotion of jealousy. That means they do have emotions. Anyways, Luke, Leia, and Han walk out of nowhere because apparently the main characters have VIP passes to the Wookiees' private stage behind Taco Bell. Then we get a heartfelt song sung by Carrie Fisher that is said to warm our hearts and fill us with the holiday spirit.
We celebrate a day of peace, a day of harmony.
Oh, come on! It's bad enough that we've had to listen to Wookiee grunts the whole film. Now we have to hear a high Carrie Fisher sing? Then we get to watch some old footage from Chewbacca's Memories in Episode 4, surrounded by a very distracting blue gradient. And finally, to end off the horrendous piece of art that the Star Wars Holiday Special is, we see the Wookiee family enjoying a nice Life Day dinner. And end scene. Oh my god, we made it. But not past the credits, because I do have to note that they don't even credit Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Peter Mayhew, or Anthony Daniels, the main cast from the original Star Wars, might I remind you. No, instead we get to see who the idiots were who let this thing go through without even second guessing it. Guys, when you get 5 riders, make sure at least one of them isn't a chimpanzee. Anyways, I just all around hate the Star Wars Holiday Special in its entirety. They don't even go into much detail what the holiday is about. I'm just glad there aren't any more bad Star Wars related films I can review, because that would just be too much for me to handle. Sweet mother of... Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been Star Geek.